Hey guys, how y'all doing? This is D Durrell with D Durrell Life Solutions. I'm out here hanging out. It's a beautiful day today. I would like to discuss, guys. I'm going to discuss the issues regarding black men, or the lack of black men participating in mental health services. I want to have this discussion because this has been a topic of conversation since the TikTok therapist, but also before she even came into existence or gained the negative popularity that she was able to garner due to her unprofessional stance and perception of black men in therapy. It did bring, or I would say, cause an increase in the awareness of black male mental health. Now, since I've been on in these YouTube streets, which I have been for a great deal of time, I've been in these YouTube streets, and what I have noticed that there has been a great deal of anxiety and hesitancy and skepticism that involves black men being involved in mental health. I have been a person, as a black man, who has actually been in therapy as part of my profession, and also a black man from time to time who has sought therapy from time to time, just based on the nature of me being a human being, the profession I'm in, and just dealing with life stressors. Therapy works. Therapy works. But I think it's very important for us to understand, why do black men dislike therapy? Why is there a lack of involvement to get treatment? And the perspective that I'm going to give, this perspective is highly relegated to how black men are treated when they receive these services, and how they have been perceived, how we have been perceived. And when I talk about we, I'm talking about from a societal standpoint, how black men are perceived in healthcare, period, particularly mental health. Now, I want us to understand that in society, all the negativities of black male behavior and black male inadequacies is portrayed, and it's highly visible. However, the positive behaviors, the productive behaviors, are somewhat ignored. And the character, the image of black men has been disparaged since we came to this continent, or to the Western Hemisphere. So part of American culture, from my perception as a black man, and from historical fact, is to demonize black men, or to look at black men from an unfavorable standpoint. So within that unfavorable standpoint, through media, mass media, through literature, through public policy, stereotypes, etc. When people think of black men, they think of black men from a very finite standpoint, and it's usually stereotypical and negative. And so I could only hypothesize that when people treat black men or provide services, whether it's healthcare, legal services, mental health services, there's a large percentage of those people who carry that into their profession. Also with education. To me, education in itself, as far as black male ineffectiveness to read and write and to excel, is highly contingent on how they're being perceived, how they're being treated, and your response to that. So, many black men don't react well to these services because they don't trust the people who are facilitating those services. Even people that look like me, and even people that look for females, black men and other black women. Most black men who seek my services, which is not a great deal, the many who decide to, simply decide to because I'm a black man, irregardless of my skill level, because my skill level should be the most important. However, most black men, in many cases, value that one identifier or factor more than anything else. Forget my education, my training, even my experience in treating this particular issue or not. That is what's most important to them. So in order for us to improve the likelihood of black men seeking services, we have to have more black people in mental health, and we have to have more black men that are involved in mental health. Not to the fact that just because being a black male or being a black person alone is, but to acclimate them to the services. So if they're seeking black services, maybe down the line they'll be open to seeking services from anyone, because they will conceptualize that when I sought this person, I had a positive experience. Therefore, I could take a chance on someone else outside of my group. And so that's the perspective that I'm looking at it. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right.
You have a good one.
You too. So guys, I'm eating some French toast. I'm going to get to this later. It looks great. So, sorry for the slight sidebar there. Pause. So, that's my perspective. And so, in that interaction, many black men have complained about the treatment, how they've been perceived, but also understand that distrust for mental health is only a byproduct for their distrust for the educational system, which they embark upon very early in age, the healthcare system, which they may have been treated certain ways, mistrust for the financial systems that disallow them to seek capital, that distrust for the legal system, which in many times they're looked upon as the criminal and being guilty before any type of due process. And so they come with the same mindset as it relates to mental health. Now, I'd like you to give your perspective on this, because as a black therapist, one of my passions is to increase the likelihood of black men being open to therapy, but black people in general, because black women also have suffered some of the same skepticisms, but black women are a lot more likely to carry out seeking those services at a much quicker rate and at a higher rate as far as occurrence. So thank you so much. This is D. Darrell Spears. Y'all have a great day.